Another question from Dave. If you're renting and your rent is reasonable, but you have 30, 40K savings, would you say it's better to buy a place to live or to use the funds to purchase a buy-to-let investment? I think it's really two. It depends on what's your partner. If she wears the pants, then you probably won't, that decision will be taken out of your hands. No. I think, look, it's always great to have somewhere to live, but financially, actually, a lot of decisions, a lot of time, it's better to invest and actually rent somewhere because you can rent cheaper than you can buy. As long as that 40 to 50K or 30, 40K is going into an investment, and working for you, then for me, that works really well. But by the same token, if you're settling down, having kids, doing all that sort of stuff, having a place of your own, is always, it's an inspiration, and it really does. It's a motivator. It will, help you, because it's going to make you money anyway. So for me, it's not a this or that. It depends on your situation. What are your guys' thoughts? Any thoughts?
We actually have quite a few clients who are renting and actually decided to take the step with investment first.
Yeah.
And one of the first things I always ask is, where you're renting now, are you happy there? Have you got the space? Is it the right place, for your work life, your personal, your social life, all that? And if the answer to that question is, it is, and we love being here, or I love living here because it really works, and I'm like, fine, invest. If the answer is no, where, the place that I'm renting, I'm not happy, whether it's the condition of the apartment, the location's not right, and it's making someone on a day-to-day level, not too happy, then the reality is, look, go and get yourself a place to live first, because it's all about getting that balance right.
Yeah. And I think it's a massive motivator. Once you get, I always talk about stretching when you buy your own home, because if you stretch when you buy your own home, it's amazing how 6 months after buying it, you will adjust your lifestyle, and that will just become an easy payment. But one of the challenges is if you don't stretch and then you settle for and you buy a place, then you feel stuck, and then you feel like you made the wrong decision, that sort of stuff. It's amazing how the brain will expand, the mind will expand to meet your surroundings. So if you're more, you think, my mortgage at £1,000 a month is a stretch, there's no way I can afford that, and yet you do it at 1,100 and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. You'll find a way and you'll sort it out. And I realize that, from a strictly fiscal sense, that's probably bad advice, because you should spend within your means and all that sort of stuff. I've seen so many people who, when they stretch, that just becomes their norm, and that just becomes what they can do, no problems, good. So guys, any other questions? I've got one more here, which is basically that. Do you expect buy-to-let market to be better for houses than apartments? Look, I think this is an age-old question that we get all the time.
Yeah.
Look, for me, it's a cycle. Okay, so what you tend to find is that apartments, go through a period where, when they may, they'll go up in price, and then actually houses will be cheaper, and then what will happen? Houses will go up in price, and it's a bit like this, Look, they serve a different type of the market. Generally your city centres, which your best fundamentals, all that sort of stuff, will be your apartments, and out in the suburbs will be your houses. So it just depends on what you're looking for. They both make money, yeah. And if you buy them well, they both rent, and so it's not a case of houses are better than flats, even though a lot of people say, oh no, houses are always better than flats. I've done both. Okay, so yeah. But yeah, so I think, and actually you mentioned that was in Birmingham that you're seeing lots of apartments. You will see apartments in Birmingham, because that's what's going to be built. You got to realise that the population increases, and as the population increases, there's going to be more apartments built, and taller apartments. I mean, there's 20 massive story apartments, skyscrapers being in planning now in London. London's going to become a futuristic city where you see, all these, massive, high rises, and that's happening. That's happening in all cities, and Birmingham and Manchester and all those places will be the same.
So, whether it's that house or flat, it's ultimately the land value where you're going to make your money. But just on that point of the city centres, there's limited space. So when developers go into these appreciating city centres, if there's no space to build houses, there's limited land, so they have to build upwards.
Yeah,
that's why you just won't see houses being built in city centres and surrounding areas. Just won't happen.
Not at all.